So this is a quick rundown of the conversation on Braised Leather. Chris Conlon's commenting about children running out in front of him when he's driving his car on the road, and they're sort of wandering around on the road. So that's what he's talking about. So without getting into it too much, so we've got the various sort of people going on about dash cams, various. So Richard Beckett, he's the one. Chris Barrett. Right, so basically what he said is so Chris Barrett commented, maybe it's you. So I said, maybe it's you. I said to him, maybe you doesn't understand the highway, because he's saying you need to learn the highway code to this guy who's driving along in his car and there's children wandering around on the road, and he's objecting to this. This guy's saying to him, you should be more responsible, but you as a driver have a greater degree of responsibility. People forget driving is a privilege, not a right. So that's where it started. So that's what I've been talking about in that video. So maybe it's you that doesn't understand the highway code. Driving is essential to maintain our way of life. It is a right if you want privilege. Why don't you go live in communist China? So he says, it's not a right, and well, you are a freak. Went crazy over my profile. I don't know what he's talking about there. Like, wow, laugh and light away, but you just vibe and title. So I'm not speaking to him now because he called me a freak, right? So, and this guy's approved it. That's Richard Beckett. The levels of hypocrisy from you are astonishing. Right, you must be a troll. You know nothing about me to be able to call me a hypocrite. I can confidently say I could definitely live my life with almost zero impact if I didn't drive. So, I mean, there's a bit missing there. I'll need to try and some of this might disappear. So what I said to him was, you spread communist nonsense while living off and benefiting from modern life, where pretty much everything, including your underpants, was driven to you in some form or another. If you are not driving, someone is on your behalf. To spread such false rhetoric that driving is a privilege when it's a necessity and obligation. You're not going to do it. Someone has to. But we won't see you living in a cave with no heat or light, will we? So basically what I'm saying is, you think you can, Richard Beckett thinks he can do without driving, but somebody's driving for him. So that would be the van driver, the truck driver, the ambulance driver, the council driver, all sorts of drivers. Driving the plumber, driving Richard Beckett's house to fix the plumbing, all these things. So, here we go. You really are, so this guy's he's mentally deranged, this guy. You really are a weird-minded character. And that is projection, of course. None less entertaining, carry on. So what he said to me is, this is a bit mixed up, but I'm sure you can follow this. That's nonsense. This is not the USA. It is entirely possible to live a full modern life and travel almost over this country without driving, especially in an urban area. Many people do it all the time. Driving is a privilege, not a right. So that's what I'm objecting to. That is wrong. Driving is not a privilege. It is a right. It's a necessity. And if he's not driving, somebody's driving for him. He's sitting there with his middle class lifestyle and somebody else is doing all the dirty work for him while he's sitting spouting off like that. So I says to him, it's not nonsense. The levels of hypocrisy from you are astonishing. Clearly you do not understand our history whilst benefiting from it. Driving is essential to maintain your way of life. Without it, you'd not be able to function the way you do. It will be a shame when you fall off your bike. When you do, we should insist you're not taken to hospital in motorised transport. So that is a bit mean, but it's accurate. Why should he get taken to hospital when he doesn't want us driving? When he thinks driving's a privilege, why should somebody come along in an ambulance and take him to hospital when he's fallen off his bike? And the reason I'm saying that is, if you look at his profile, unless of course he's blocked me, and there you go, Harley Davison. What a complete twat. So we view his profile, and we see studied aeromechanical engineering at University of Strathclyde, lives in Falkirk, he's from Aberdeen. Right, so he's a dumpling. He's complete full of shit. Privileged dumpling from fucking university. You know? It's like, get a fucking grip of yourself. You want to go and, like, he's a communist. Communist. Oh, exciting. Look at all this. Look at the twat there. Come on. That's him there. He's not a communist. He's one of these fake ones. Yeah, he's a fake. Driving's a privilege. I don't know where that comes from. But it needs closer scrutiny. You know, it needs closer scrutiny. There's him there. There's him there. He's a cyclist. Okay, right. He's a fucking cyclist. It's obvious. He's a cyclist. He's pushing his privilege. He's entitled. If you're driving, you're privileged. But when it comes to him fucking about in his motorbike, then that's perfectly fine, eh, Richard? You fucking fanny. Fuck. That's the hypocrisy. So he's got his motorbike. The old glorious day for a run down to the Great Western Chapter. Right, so he's is he a Hell's Angel? Or a fucking fanny? Fucking Hell's Angel, my arse. And you say driving's a privilege when you're a fucking Hell's Angel? What a fucking absolute piece of shit you are. Okay, you're going a bit too far. She takes his bike out when it suits him. But it's not a privilege for him though, eh? Because he's entitled. You're entitled, Richard. Right, so he doesn't like Tories either. You know, he's one of these ones. Privileged twat from University of Strathclyde. There he is. Richard Beckett. Green communist. There he is. Green communist. Well done, Richard. Yeah, you're entitled, all right. So we'll look at this other clown. I don't know if there's any update to this. No, there isn't. So here's this guy. I don't know. He might have blocked me or something. Yeah, it looks like he has. Oh no, he hasn't. Oh, that's me. A lot of that Trump picture winds a lot of them up. Barrett. I think he's mentally deranged. That's what he said so himself, didn't he? Listen to him. Can anyone recommend a garage or mechanic? That's why I laughed at him. That will give some advice. I'm about to buy my first car. However, there's a fair amount of work required. New tyres possibly. You know, so as well as replacing shocks. Front parts bought but need fitted, and front and back door windows drivers haven't a clue about price. It still has a year's MOT. I need to work out the cost to make it roadworthy again. 04 plate Fiesta. If that makes a difference, hopefully there's someone out there that can advise me on next steps. Well, it's got a year's MOT and it needs new tyres and shocks. And it's like, so either the car has passed the MOT and the shocks work and the tyres are perfectly acceptable, and you're one of these neurotic types that thinks it needs new tyres. And equally, you're buying an 04 car, which is 21 years old. You know, so you're a dumpling. That's why I laughed at you. How you would say a car needs new tyres, and if you're about to buy a car with a year's MOT that's needing new tyres and shocks, and you're going over it in this sort of pedantic way, it indicates that you're not the type of person that's just going to get it and drive around in it and be happy that it's MOT'd. You want everything to be perfect, but you're buying an 04 Fiesta. Go and buy a new car then, you clown. So this guy says for an 04 plate Fiesta, it wouldn't be worth the hassle. Who did that? Ian McLeod. Who did the MOT? Mr. Magoo. Everyone take care out today. I've heard rumours that snow can be dangerous. This guy's not right in the head. He's definitely not right in the head. Somebody dropped glasses. Chris Barrett. What a clown. Yeah, absolutely funny. Aye. Well, we need to go and view profile. Look at this. I mean, anyone happen to have a nutcracker I could loan for a day? Is that for your testicles? Can collect a nut and bolt cracker, not a peanut opener. I mean, who the fuck is going to put... I mean, who's going to put that on the internet? Like, I'd maybe borrow a removal van or something, or a skip lorry, a horse, you know, I don't know. But a nutcracker? I mean, you're mentally deranged, aren't you? Go and buy your own one, you fucking idiot. You know? Go and buy one and fucking Tesco will have them. Fuck's sake. What an idiot. That's him. Green. He's like pushing out. So we've got Adidas. So they're sort of green communists, but they're techno feudalists as well. That's what the Adidas thing signifies. I don't really, generally don't really like having brand imaging on my clothes. Generally, or if you're aware of it and do it, that's fine. But to be pushing green communism and pushing that shit, that's slave labour. You get slaves in, where is it, Myanmar or India, Bangladesh making that shit. Right, so I think we've the guy's a complete dumpling. So thanks for watching this video. So if you want to go and look at that, it's on Brace Leather. Just about a techno boys in a bad way after being hit by a bus in Motherwell on his way to school. The reason I'm commenting, you know, people like, I think the real the other day, 4 or 5 young adults from Brace High, future of the world, thought it would be accepted to just walk across the road as we're moving forward in a green light. It's Canal Bridge, smirks all over their faces. Mum and dad need to educate their precious little entitled angels. Tons of metal will seriously injure them when the car has dash cam right, it will not be prosecuted. So what he's saying is, and this is indicative of the 20 zones, it turns people into dumplings, and they won't. But young people don't give a fuck. I mean, there's various issues with this, but it's the 20 zones are encouraging this sort of thing. So this clown maybe just reread it. So he's attacking this guy, but this guy's putting a fairly. What he's saying is be more careful, right? And he's attacking him because he's a numpty. And Chris Barrett, Richard Beckett, Green Communists. Thanks for watching. Bye.